All right, everyone. So, happy Saturday. um, I wanted to talk a little bit about Amy's life journey and Life by Jen and the weight loss plan that they're doing together. I think it's kind of a great idea, actually. A lot of the times when you're trying to lose weight, it's always good to do it with someone else. So I thought we would watch Jen's video first, where she talks a little bit about it, and then I'm going to find Amy's as well and do another reaction video because they're too long for me to do a long one. Plus, my poor computer can't handle more than 40 minutes. So I figured we'll do this one first, and then I'll just kind of react to it and let you guys kind of know what I think. I think that I'm a good source for these kinds of videos because I am a bigger person, so I have the experience too. Mind you, I'm not 500 pounds, but at the weight that I am, I do have issues with pain and stuff like that, and I know what it is to have issues with food. So I just thought it would be a good idea for me to comment on some of these videos. So let's do this.
And welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. Happy 2020 to you guys. I am so glad to have you guys with me in the new year, and I look forward to all the exciting things to come. I have a lot going on in my personal life. I've undertaken a new volunteer position that is going to take up a lot of my time that I am very excited to be doing.
So I've seen a couple reaction channels talk about this, that it's a really good idea for her to take up the volunteer work. I think so too. It gets her out of the house, and that can be so important for someone who spends their whole time indoors. I know she has Jean there now, but even then, it can still get lonely being at home all the time and not really just getting to go somewhere. So I don't know what the volunteer work is she's doing, but I think it's a really great idea.
I also am excited to show you guys all the changes I have in store for my YouTube channel and for our new YouTube channel. So I hope you guys will stick around. I know I've made a lot of promises in the past of weight loss, and that has never panned out, but this is going to be the year I make the changes in my life, and I want you guys to stick around. And
I'm so hopeful for this. That's what I want for her. I want that for Amy. I want that for, Amberlynn Reed and Chantal. I want that for all of them because I've seen what it does to them, being overweight and how it affects them. And I know with some of them, a lot of people have issues in saying they're manipulative people, and maybe they are. I don't know. But I like to try to see the good in people until they show me otherwise. So, like I said, this year's a new year. I'm starting off optimistic with everyone, and we'll just see how things go.
And follow me on my journey to having a better life, and I think you guys are going to be excited for some of the things that are to come. But before I talk about that, I have some old business I want to wrap up from the old year, and that is going to be in the form of a little bit of a clip I'm going to insert here. If you guys remember, back in December, I think it was actually the end of November, maybe it was in December, Jean and I had announced that we were going to do a giveaway on my channel, and that was for a Christmas gift for you guys, and that was going to be a hand-drawn portrait of somebody, the winner, and that person could pick a picture that they want drawn by Jean.
So I'm going to skip over the whole drawing montage or whatever that they do because it's long and boring and there's no music to it. And but I will show you the end result. Jean is a very good artist. I'm even considering having him draw something for me. And he's not expensive, not even a little bit. So I think it's really cool that he draws and that he has such a good talent. Here, I'll stop right about here just so you can see his final. I mean, he did a great job. It looks amazing. The person he drew is happy with it. So I think that's so great. But yeah, you can see no music. So I was watching this, and it was one of the comments I made, like, if you're going to do something like this where no one's talking, put some music to it because it makes it more entertaining. But look how gorgeous that is. I mean, I'm not going to fault him on that. I definitely...
Alright guys, so that was actually the first time
I definitely had an issue when I first found out he was moving in with her because I feel like it was too soon. I don't feel like she was emotionally ready to have him move in. But I want to believe that it'll end up good for her. I just hope that if it isn't, and then it does seem to be something that actually is a detriment, that she will get up the courage to make him leave if that's the case. And the same thing for him. If it's not good for him to be there, he shouldn't. But I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard to know because they both are addicts in some way, and a lot of times you have two addicts living together, even if they're not addicted to the same thing, they tend to have, issues. It tends to be a problem, especially because I don't think he's been sober very long, and she's still not, sober from her eating, so it's a concern, but we'll see.
However, time-lapsed a drawing I did, and so that came out pretty neat. I enjoyed watching it. It's almost a slap in the face by how fast it went, how much time I actually put into it. It took me probably about 5 hours, I think, 4 to 5 hours. And since so many people had requested for me to do a portrait of them or an animal, then what I had...
Okay, so he's just talking about his pricing and that sort of thing. I'm going to skip over this right about... It's always hard to find the perfect spot to start off. But yeah, we're going to skip over
these portraits from here on out. Thank you guys, and I'll see you there.
All right, so isn't that gorgeous? He is, like I said, he is crazy talented, and make sure that you get in touch with him, and he will hook you up if you're so interested in doing so. So let's get into the reason why we're here and the reason for this video. This is going to be my...
Okay, so I'm sure any of you who actually watch her know that she tends to drag on in the beginning before she actually gets to what she's there for. I know that's just probably her. I do that sometimes too. I think that when you're making a video on something, you have to be more direct and kind of get to the point a little bit more. And that's why sometimes it is hard to watch her channel. It has nothing against her. I like her as a person. She seems sweet, but yeah, that can get a little tedious after a while to watch,
First official weigh-in, my first official weigh-in of 2020, and it will be weekly. And if you guys weren't aware, I am doing this as a collaboration with Amy from Amy's Life Journey. I did see her video that she posted when she did her What I Eat in a Day.
The sound changed just on her end.
And I see that she has changed up how she's going to be rewarding her winner at the end of 3 months. I wasn't aware that she had changed it until I saw that video, but I'm still on track with doing my dollar a pound in my cookie jar, and everything that I had announced, the dollar a pound, the charity, and the gift for Amy, all my previous rules and stipulations still exist.
I really think that's a great idea, actually, to do $1 a pound. I'm thinking of doing that for myself. I've been in a weight gain lately, but, it's the new year, so I am going to try to do better, and I am going to do better. Not going to try, I'm going to do better. And so I think that would be a good motivation for myself. I don't know if I would want to give it away at a certain point on my weight loss channel. I haven't thought about that yet, but if I do, I'll put a link to my channel down in the comments, or the description box. And that way, if you guys want to subscribe, you can. But, I usually only choose names of people that are constantly on my channel, or consistently, I should say. People that I know are there to see me and not just for the money. So that's just a heads up. I think that's more fair than to let some new person who just joined 5 minutes before and then all of a sudden they win. So yeah, I just try to make it fair to everybody.
I haven't changed anything, and I don't plan on it. I also want to take a minute to thank you guys for all the wonderful comments that you left on my last video of What I Eat in a Day, my 4,000 calorie addiction. And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to pop the little card up here so you can go watch it. That is what I had been accustomed to eating in a day. There were a couple people who, the overwhelmingly majority of everybody who commented on my video was very supportive. Since I committed to not deleting or blocking anyone, I was a little bit nervous because I know some people can be very negative, and I have prepared myself for that. I have prepared myself for that moving forward in this year. So, but I still was a little nervous of how many people were going to be rude, but I was very surprised and shocked that people were very supportive of me, and
yeah, of course.
I am...
See, that's the thing, too. Like, I think a lot of, especially weight loss channels, they expect everyone to hate them automatic. Oh, we hate. And, Chantal Marie or Footy Boot or whatever, she likes to constantly say that. That's not true. People are generally supportive. What people don't like is when they're manipulated. when you say something knowing it's not true. I get that things happen and people fail sometimes in diets and weight loss and whatnot, but it's more like if we feel manipulated, then yeah, we're gonna have something to say about that. So that's it. I don't think it's the majority of people. I don't think it's really because they hate you because you're fat or they hate you for whatever, you know. So that's just a misconception.
Thankful for you guys so much. The only time I will block or delete a comment, block a person or delete a comment, is if it's vulgarity or if somebody is just being inappropriate in a bad way. I think we all know what that is, profanity or content that just is not needed for this channel. So I thank you all for that so much. So let's get started talking about my weigh-in. Now, the last time I showed a weigh-in on my channel was and this wasn't even on my channel, I made it on the community post. Community tab, I posted a photo, and then I did post the video on Instagram because at that time I was having some trouble with my mouth, and I did not feel like filming videos. And people have been asking how my mouth is doing. It's doing much better. The swelling has went down. It was from a bad tooth, which I have very many of those, and that's something else I'm going to be working on in the new year is dental care. So that was all that was, but it was very painful, and it lasted a couple months. So anyhow, back to the whole reason I'm telling you that.
Yeah, so this is just another example of how she goes off topic a little bit and then we'll go back on topic. Like I said, it's normal for a lot of people, but sometimes I think that, like, if you know you're going to do that, having an outline of what you're going to say is important. You know, you want to make sure to keep on track as much as you can. I think that would help improve her videos a little bit too, if she did that. And like I said, add a little background music, just light enough. You'd be surprised at what that can do to a video. I do it. I like to do it. It's just a little, royalty-free music that I can put in there, and I don't have any issues, so.
It's because that's when I wasn't making videos, so I didn't do a live weigh-in then. So when I weighed in then, I was 5'11.2, and that was the lowest that I got to. And then as October was not a good month. I had planned on being under 500 by my birthday, which was the end of October, and it went downhill really fast in October, and I stopped losing.
Yeah, and I don't watch. I'm not gonna lie. I don't usually watch every video, mainly because, like I said, I don't know. Like, I get bored. I get bored easily. That's just me. So I only started noticing her decline when Jean moved in. So I assumed that's what it was, and I think a lot of people did. I mean, maybe that is the case, but I'm going to take her for her word that it did start beforehand. But yeah, that was a misconception that I had.
Then I started, my mindset was after I did my weigh-in, I could just have one cheat day and then get right back on track and everything would be okay. But that one cheat day led to 2 to 3 to 4, and I never did get back on track, and it just kept getting worse and worse from there. So then November came, and in November I had a couple good days, and also in December I had a couple of good days where I attempted to get back on, I called it keto, but I never got back into ketosis, so I was doing low carb. But I didn't stick with it at all. It only lasted a few days, maybe 3 at the most. And then I was back to eating poorly, binging. I binged a couple times. There is a big gray area of binging, what people consider a binge. I did binge a few times in the past 2.5, 3 months, but mostly it's just eating large quantities of food, which is compulsive overeating.
I can't remember if she's in any kind of therapy or not. I sort of remember her talking about it, but I don't know. If not, I think she should be. Anyone that deals with that, and I'll say that all the time, therapy is key. You need to go to a therapist to figure out your deep-seated issues. I mean, she's had one heck of a life growing up, a lot of abuse and stuff like that, so it's understandable. And I hope that's something that she has been dealing with, because the thing is, you can figure out your diet, and, most people know what it takes to lose weight. But if you're not there emotionally or mentally, it's not going to happen. And we've seen it time and time again.
And there were some people who were convinced in my video that I posted the other day of what I eat in a day, my 4,000 calories, that I wasn't being completely honest. And that was what I ate in that day, like 4,300 calories. Yes, there are other days where the calorie count is much higher, because if I have fast food or if I eat more than that, there are days that it's much lower than that. Just because you're morbidly obese doesn't mean you eat 6,000 calories every single day. Yes, there are a lot of days that I probably eat close to 10,000 calories, but that wasn't a day, and I didn't pick a day. That was just what I ate on that day. So the middle of November was the last time I weighed myself, and at that time I saw 532, I believe. Yeah. And that scared me because it was, 20 pounds?
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, she, I believe, has, I think it's either uterine or ovarian cancer, I can't remember which one. And they can't do surgery on her until she loses weight, which is typical. I think you have to be under a certain weight before they can safely do it. And, so a lot of people say that should be her motivation. I think the problem is that, and I actually spoke to my sister about this because this was something she didn't understand either, that when it comes to stuff like that, you can't put common sense to an addiction. There is no common sense. You're not using common sense when it comes to an addiction like that. It's so much more than that. And so I think a lot of people say, oh, well, this should be her point. This should be her point. No. And like, believe me, I should have already had mine a long time ago. But I've been overweight my whole adult life. And the thing is that there has to be something that clicks with you. And it's not just about, oh, I'm unhealthy. But it's just not that simple, to just switch your brain to now I'm going to eat better, and now I'm going to do this. So I think that's kind of a misconception that a lot of people have. I'm just hoping that she's at that point where, she's there and she's ready to lose the weight. But I don't know. We'll see as time goes on to see how she does.
I had gained 20 pounds from my lowest, and I was convinced that I would just stay around that weight and I wouldn't gain any more, even though I kept eating horribly and large quantities of food. For some reason, I fooled myself into thinking that I wasn't going to go any higher than that. Unfortunately, I did go higher than that. So today I weighed in this morning. It's going to be late by the time you see this because I woke up late. I have some other things because I'm starting my volunteer position today. I had a meeting I had to attend with some people to talk about that. And that's why this is late. But this is today's weigh-in on Wednesday, January 1st, 2020. And I'm going to insert a picture here, or a video here. And I'm going to do a side-by-side. You're going to see me standing on the scale as well as me holding the camera to see the numbers on the scale.
Okay, so I pulled out my notebook because what I'm going to do is I'm also on my own going to catalog, how much weight they've lost, what their starting weight is, that sort of thing, so that I can kind of keep track too. I mean, I know they're going to say in the video, but I'm going to forget. Usually I forget my own numbers. By the next week, I forget how much I weighed the week before. So we're going to say that, starting January 1st of this year, and then I'll put, Jen and Amy, and then kind of just get an idea of where they're at. And, I'm rooting for them for sure. And I know there's going to be ups and downs. They're not going to lose weight every week. But it's the motivation. You have to keep it. That's the thing. You can't lose that. The moment you lose that, that's it.
I didn't get a really good angle of me standing on the scale this week, but I'm going to figure it out better for next week so you can see me actually standing, my whole view standing. You see the back of me, so just don't look at my butt. I mean, that's a little uncomfortable.
I love that. See, nobody would have looked at her butt, but then she tells us not to. Now we're all looking at her butt. Like, you don't tell people not to do something, then they want to do it. It's like, don't push the red button. Yeah, now we're all pushing the red button. No, it's just funny.
But I'm going to try to figure out a better setup for next Wednesday, because I want to do the split screen so you guys can see that I'm not holding on to anything. I'm not standing with one foot on the scale. I'm actually standing straight on the scale and giving you an honest number. So like I said, you'll see, I'm going to insert the clip here of me standing on the scale, and then you're going to see the number on the scale and hear the number right here.
All right.
January 1st, 2020.
I love that. Hello. I want to get one of those just so it can say hello to me every time I weigh myself. I'm ready. Okay, so that's her starting weight. Okay. And I'm thinking too that, watching them will help motivate me to get started again. It's definitely something I need to do, and sometimes you need a whole team. You can't just do it by yourself.
All right, there it is. So as of January 1st, 2020, I am 553.4, which is a 42.2 pound gain since October the 24th.
The thing too about like keto and low carb, and I know from experience because I've tried low carb a couple times, once you get off of it, you will gain more weight than you lost usually if you don't ever go back, and you'll do it very fast. So that's the thing. Once you start it, you cannot stop. You will gain that weight back like that. So that's the thing. It's very, she could have been doing keto for 6 months, lost 100 pounds, then get off keto, eat the way she did, and gain that weight in probably 3 months. So you have to be very careful with low carb, and you have to gradually, I know this is, not a popular opinion when it comes to keto and stuff. I don't feel like it's a lifetime thing. I feel like it is kind of unhealthy for you to do lifetime. You hear about people having side effects of losing their hair, bad breath, certain things like that. I feel like for short term to get you, to get you that boost, you need some carbs. I'm not saying you have to have 100, 200 carbs, but at least some carbs, maybe 50 or so, just depending on your body. But yeah, I'm not a fan of it for a lifetime, but I think as a start, she was doing so well that it was good for her.
2019. I can't even tell you what went through my head. I kind of just blanked out when I heard that, and when I actually saw the number of how much I had gained. Fortunately, I didn't gain back everything that I lost. I'm still down from last year, which is good. If you want to look at a silver lining or a bright side of anything, at least I'm not back into the 570s where I was last year.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. I take full responsibility for this. This is completely me. I put every single drop of food in my mouth, every forkful of food in my mouth. And when I have seen what I did to myself, I am determined to not let this go on, because this happened so quickly, and I gain weight. Obviously I'm eating enough calories, I'm going to gain weight, but right. I just gain weight very quickly and very easily anyhow.
Yeah, I think to be around, she's in the higher 500, so around that she's probably eating at least, 5,200 calories a day. I mean, that's her average, but if I had to guess, that's probably where she's at. So, yeah, that's hard. I can't even imagine. I eat probably 3,000 calories a day, if that. And the idea of having to cut down it's gonna be hard. The snacking, that's the big thing. My meals, I cook now and stuff, and it's been going well. But it's the snacking. You just want something. All of a sudden, between breakfast and lunch, you want something between lunch and dinner, and sometimes before bed. So that's something that I have to cut myself, and I'm pretty sure she does too.
So I'm not going to allow myself to keep gaining weight. I'm going to take control of my life as of now, and in all areas of my life, I am going to become a more opinionated person. I'm not going to apologize for having my opinions. This goes into other things, other areas of my life where people, this is kind of getting off subject of weight loss, but people think because you smile and you're sweet that when you do voice your opinion and you do have an opinion and you talk back to them and you are assertive, that you're not a nice person anymore or you're fake. But I don't think that just because you're nice doesn't mean you can't have an opinion and be assertive. And
I agree. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you always look so happy on screen. It's yeah, I'm not going to be crying my eyes out or pissed off and then decide to make a video. That makes no sense. The video's forever. Why would you want to portray yourself that way? we all have moments of anger and sadness. We all have anxiety from time to time. We all have certain things about ourselves. We have our bad days. I've been mean to people, and of course I sorely regret it, and I've apologized, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I can be mean. Doesn't mean I'm a mean person. I'm generally nice. I try to be nice. So I get that. I completely understand that.
And I have been the kind of person where I just smile. I think that's why a lot of people think I'm fake, is because I've held back on giving my opinion on things because I don't want to be labeled as that kind of a person who is not nice. But I've come to the realization that just because I have an opinion doesn't make me not a nice person. And everyone doesn't have to agree with me just because I have an opinion that is different from theirs.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something that I work on in other areas of my life this coming year. I want to work on myself as a whole. My eating disorder is completely in the forefront of everything, because if I'm not healthy, I can't do any of these things, anything else in my life. This weight loss journey is not just about losing weight. This is about recovering from an eating disorder that I've had for most all of my life. I can safely say that I can remember as being young as 4 or 5 years old eating compulsively. So this is going to be a time in my life where I get serious about losing weight, get serious about my health, and moving forward being a functioning adult in society.
Yeah, and I truly hope that. I do. I truly hope that. It's not going to be easy, and I think a lot of people have I can do this, and they start off strong because you have that motivation, but eventually life's going to get to you. The hardest part is going somewhere and being in a group of people who don't have to worry about what they eat. And then you're over there, trying to say, okay, well, how many calories does this have? Oh, I shouldn't eat this. Or you have to eat before you get there. And that can make you feel left out because our society, is driven by food. Our get-togethers are about food. Family, everything. It's about food. And so it's like, now you're kind of excluded from that. And it can be very hard. It can be. I think that's one of the hardest things for me. Mind you, there's obesity on my dad's side. But for the most part, my family that I am with all the time, they're not obese. I'm the biggest out of everyone. And, they don't have to watch what they eat. My younger sister, she does in a way because she can gain weight, but she's never been as big as I am. And she's eating well and exercising, and she's great. And, I strive to be like that because that's what I want for myself, too. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to this so much, getting my life back and getting a life. So in the coming weeks, you're going to be seeing a lot of different videos from me. We plan to clean out our freezer, our refrigerator, and our cupboards and get rid of the unhealthy foods. And we'll show you what is in there, what we keep, what we throw away, and replace with healthier options. We've already gotten a few things that are healthy. I've gotten Santa Jean bought me for Christmas the Ultimate Keto Cookbook, and I've already made a list and already actually got at the grocery store the ingredients to make one of the breakfast recipes in here.
Yeah, and the thing is, keto, low carb, the meals are really good. I was doing low carb. I couldn't do keto because that was just too few carbs for me. But I was doing low carb. I think I was doing 100, which is still considered low carb. And I was losing weight. I was losing about 1 to 2 pounds a week. So it was working. And I was still able to have, my thing is grains and stuff. Sometimes I want oatmeal. Sometimes, I might want a piece of bread. So just depending on how many calories that they have low carb versions, I could have that. And so that was helpful.
So that you'll probably see that at the beginning of next week because we plan on making that this weekend for breakfast. And I have my meal prep containers. I'm probably going to be doing some meal preps for the coming days as well. And I'm excited to show you guys all of that. Other than that, I'll show you the What I Eat in a Day videos. Of course, every Wednesday is going to be Weigh-In Wednesdays. And who knows what's going to happen in between there. I'm also going to be posting a link probably sometime this week or next week for Jean and I's new channel as soon as we get it all ready. If you're following me on Instagram, I showed you a sneak peek of the banner I made for the channel.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because I'm sure many people come to this channel to watch her, and I think I joined like a year ago. It's when I kind of started watching a lot of these channels. She was eating healthy. I think, you know, she was trying to lose weight and that sort of thing. And it was just kind of her doing her thing. And then when she added Jean, you know, I actually did stop watching. That was one of the reasons I stopped watching. Because I don't want to, if I want to watch them, you know, I can go to their new channel. And I think that's a great idea. That's why I have so many channels. You know, I have one for weight loss because I figure if people are there to watch me lose weight, they're not watching me they don't want to see me do anything else. Just like this is my reaction commentary channel, because if people are coming here to watch that, that's probably pretty much all they want to see. And then I have a gaming one that I haven't done in a while. I mean, I know it's a lot, but I feel like, you know, certain people like certain things. And I don't mind having multiple channels. I think I have 4 altogether that I, you know, want to work with. But, yeah, so I get that. I think that makes a lot of sense.
We're really excited to start vlogging together on that channel because we're keeping our channels separately. And we're just really excited about our future and all the things that becoming healthy and emotionally, physically, and spiritually is going to have in store for us. I'm going to stop rambling for today. It's getting late and I want to get this posted, but I do want to wish you guys a very happy new year. I hope you had a safe New Year's Eve, and I wish you guys all the best in the year to come. And I want to thank you guys for sticking with me this old year, and thank you for being here in the new year with me. Alright, I'm going to close the video now, and I will see you guys back in a couple of days, probably Friday, maybe? I'm thinking Friday is going to be my next upload day. And I hope you guys have a good week and you're having a good New Year's Day. Remember, everyone, be the love, be the light, and do good things. Bye, everyone.
Okay, well, I enjoyed that. I mean, like I said, I'm hopeful. I'm going to watch Amy's next. So I will be wearing this exact same thing because it's going to be the same day. And I'll probably post them both today if I can. I already posted 2 prior. I'm trying to catch up with some of the things that have been going on since January. And some of the people I'm going to be talking about throughout the year. So I want to upload their first videos of the year so that, you know, anyone who starts watching them through me can be caught up with kind of what's going on. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.